In a couple minutes, though. Okay, I'm on live, okay? Yeah, and it's live right now, so you come in. Yeah, just keep the door shut though. You're gonna both be able to get up in here?
We got 16 people on right now.
What? What? It's so stupid. Emma, listen, finish your dinner. You can go over it, but you guys stay inside and play until I don't show up when we get you, okay? Okay? Just, hey, no going nowhere. No hanging out outside if I'm not out there, okay? Alright, let's adjust this up. Why do people always message me right as I start the show? I don't get it. Okay. Can everybody hear me? Why don't you bring your phone up in here? Dang, let me stretch out a little bit. Do I got everything I need?
Oh, I'm sitting on the edge.
Oh!
Just like I'm living.
Mow! Let's see what we got here.
I am here.
Your car's going to be super light. It's just a plate and electronics. It's actually still pretty dang heavy. You know, it's like just like some crumbs over 5 pounds, and then me and Mark had to add like 250 grams to the front of it because he couldn't keep the front end down. What's up, Robert Lehman, Scott, and Tony, and Kelly, and Fade, Corey, Justin Terpstra, what's up, bud? Scott says I like your shirt. What are you doing? Get over here.
It's like very crowded over there.
I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of set you up for failure. That chair, it's moving right, it will come down.
I know.
You know that song London Bridges?
I know.
Yeah, slide it. That's a good one. Do a slide.
I'm not using
You
this.
look so awkward.
Using the stool. How's that?
Billy Shaw, that's that. Let's give Billy a real one. Ready, go. What's
I
that?
don't do that. I don't know how to do it.
Man, okay, first of all, you only know that commercial if you're older, and we all know you're older. You know what sucks? I can't really say it to anybody anymore because I'm really not as young as they used to be. Couple more years, I'll be 50.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Rick Turner, what's up, Rick? 318 in the house. I don't know what it wants me to do there. Is this an iPhone?
Yeah.
That's fine. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of Shark Frenzy with Daniel Judd. Tonight I got one of my Shark teammates on with me who is also in Vegas, Rich Levac. I've got a lot of shout outs to do tonight. If I don't remember somebody, if there's something that I talked to you about or whatever in Vegas and I don't remember, I talked to so many people in Vegas, you know. I remember one time trying to go up to register, to get in that long line to register.
Right.
2 hours. I'd walk out, get 10 feet, somebody start a conversation. Well, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be like, hey, not right now. I'm like, oh yeah, so about that motor, you know? I just start talking to him. So it was my fault too, but it was just so good. It was a good, how do I say, without sounding hippie-ish, it was a good aura. You know what I'm saying? There was good light coming off of this race.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of people there. I'm sure you got to meet a lot of people that you talked to online or you've heard about online.
For sure. All the Shark crew.
A lot of them being our own crew members. You know,
Yeah.
Cody and Joshua and just all the guys. Jasmine. Let me get into the shout outs first. First of all, I want to give a shout out to one of my really close friends, Paul Peterson. Paul Peterson of Shark RC Bodies. The guy just killed it. I got to finally spend we spent like 3 days together. I'm glad we have my daughter because we did. I mean, he's, you know, he sounds like a really like low key, like just kind of like business guy from Wisconsin, but he's not. He's an old redneck. He will party, dude. So he doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs, doesn't do nothing, but he just. You're like, hey, Paul, you want to go watch the fountains? And he's like, yep. You know, you want to go get some food? Yep. So, Paul Peterson, thank you for everything you do for the sport. I was on Desert Hobbies show last night, down in Desert Hobbies with Billy Shaw and some guys down there, and I got asked about some upcoming shark products that are coming. Can't say what they are. I think you can all probably, you know, kind of wonder, or come up with what kind of part they are, you know,
Right.
Shark bodies. But we got some big stuff coming, and, you know, we're a smaller company, and we're trying to get it out as fast as we can. We were trying to have a release at Vegas, and it just didn't work out with our design team. But that stuff is coming near. So, look out for more products from Shark RC Bodies. If you already know, then you know. If you don't know, then go know. So I want to give a huge shout out to Steve Villanueva. I caught a string of bad luck right before we left Vegas, and I burned out some motors, some brand new motors. Steve Villanueva actually hand carried a motor to Vegas for me. I met him up in his hotel room, and he handed it to me. He's like, hey, good luck tomorrow. So I want to give a big shout out to Milo Carvalho of flashpacks and cat packs. If you don't have a cat pack, you're looking for a more legit cat pack than what you've been running. You want a cat pack with no nonsense that we've already done, you know, testing and logging data on, and it just works. Go check out flashpacks, cat packs with Milo Carvalho. Get a hold of him and get one coming. I want to also give a huge shout out to Chris Vieira and Dave, the owner of DE Tires, for bringing me on and supporting me during Vegas. I personally didn't have that well a show. I went out in the first round. I let the car beat me. It was new to me. And that leads me to my next biggest shout out. And I've been waiting for my show to come, to get back from Vegas. And I've told them how thankful I am and stuff. But to go on in front of, you know, just stand on a mountaintop and shout to everybody how grateful I am, you know. Mark and Bob Vine, the brothers of the creators of the Bullet Chassis, they came out early, and we met up at 10 a.m. At IKEA, and we did my last pass in my car right after the sun went down. So these guys literally spent all freaking day with me getting my car to work right. And what happened with my personal race was we got the car. There was a heavy 25-mile-an-hour wind coming directly at a 90-degree angle on the track at IKEA that day, and it was blowing, and we'd get about 50, 60 feet out, and it would blow the car over. So we compensated for that, and the next morning, I took a bunch of power out of the car. I went out, I did a pass, and it looked good, so I went back, and I put a bunch of power back in it for the first round, and with all that extra power that I had in it the night before, it went out. It was looking for that wind to lean on, and it wasn't there, so it went that way, and I smacked the wall. You know, the guy from Hawaii had a really, really good straight run that I raced. I forget his name. Some of the guys over in Hawaii were doing really good. I have the video, and I've slowed it down, and I believe from watching the video that in my race, I jumped out on the guy, and I was, you know, I think that I had a really good shot at winning that race, and the car's all, no you don't, and went boom, right into the wall. So, you know, I actually for a split second was going to correct it, and then I'm like, screw it, I'm up against the wall, pin it to win it. So I just pinned it. I scrubbed too much speed off, and the guy went on, and I congratulated him, and he advanced to the next round. And as much as it sucked to go out in the first round, it was also kind of sigh of relief. I actually thought I'd be a lot more nervous going up there, but I wasn't. I was cool as a cucumber. I was like, hey guys, let's race.
I felt the same way too. But you know, the whole day went really good. Like, it was a really good event. Yeah. They put it together well. You guys, hats off to you. You pulled it off.
Yeah, Tyler and
I was
Ashley.
skeptical that it was going to go so smooth, and it did.
God, what's the guy's name? I usually have my notepad, guys. Like I said, I apologize if there's some names I know there was more than just Tyler and Ashley that put it on.
A bunch more, yeah.
And it just was phenomenal. So, again, I want to wrap up that huge shout out to Mark Vine and his brother Bobby. This is my, grab your phone. Yep. This is the Corleone, and it's a TLR bullet chassis. And then we have Rich's TLR bullet chassis that's in production stages right now. So, you know, we're really digging these bullets. And you know, going into Vegas, I knew I was going to see good stuff out of the bullets. I had hoped that it had been mine, but I knew that there was other guys that had these cars way before I did, and they got their hands on them, and they had caressed the cars a little bit further than I have. And, you know, for me, right after I took that run, I was like, you know what? If I could just go back and change this, this, and this, I think the car would have been perfect, you know?
You think that every time.
Yeah, you do.
It's definitely a learning curve. I mean, whoever started getting these mid-motors to start working and then bringing it this far, it's like... And
you know what? I thought that...
Got it figured out.
Just like everybody else thought that it would be, you know, everybody... Like the last 2 months was like horsepower. Who's gonna have the more? I got the most horse. It was not a horsepower race. It wasn't a horsepower race. It wasn't even a mid motor or rear motor race, because had it been a nice wide open track, you know, like most of us are used to racing on country roads or in a parking lot where there's no outer walls, it's just a cross. I think that, you know, you would have seen a race more dependent on how fast you were, and then I think therefore the mid-motor cars probably would have had an edge up on the rear motor cars, because they, you know, you can really turn it on with the mid-motor cars even past what you can do with the rear motor cars with the upper turbo timing and stuff like that. But it really didn't matter. It was an A to B game all day long, all night long. And my hat's off to Clay. I know Clay was the winner. Him and his daughter had a phenomenal night. We lost the first round, and we had a great time.
I was out first round too.
I want to give a huge shout out to Jake's Performance Hobbies, my local hobby shop. You know, he's a full. I mean, whether you're into helicopters or you're into airplanes or whatever you're into, boats, crawlers, Jake's got it. But he's also, I mean, we're the 707 here, and he's our primary hobby shop, and he's got a lot of drag stuff. So if you don't have a local hobby shop and you still want to support a local guy, contact Jake's Performance Hobbies at oh, you can't see it because the camera's too low. 707-586-3375, Jake's Performance Hobbies. I got it on the shirt if you forget what it is. These are some of his latest, greatest. He's got the longer wheelie bars that we're all starting to see a lot of people run. I have those on a couple cars already, and I think we'll be doing some playing with these. Jake's also got a shocked long wheelie bar coming out soon, so look out for that. I'll have it on the show as soon as he gets one out. Yeah, really good shop. Really, really fortunate. I'm all for supporting local hobby shops to the point to where I support. Everybody knows I support my local hobby shop, but there's always more love to go around. You know what I'm saying? And I met a guy out in Vegas, and we just hit it off, and the guy was just I don't even drink, and I'd go drinking with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just seems like we gotta have a blast. And that was Billy Shaw of Desert Hobbies in Arizona. I want to talk YouTube for a minute. So, there's thousands of people on the old 707 site, and that's fine. And a lot of people, I think, haven't really caught on to the fact that all the videos that I've done, the new videos, have been put onto a new, after we do them on Facebook, just like before we put them on the 707 site. Well, I'm doing that now, but on Funky Monkey Judd. So there's 2 YouTube pages. I can't believe I have a new page on Facebook with 1,600 people, and I only got 200 subscribers on YouTube. So please go over to YouTube, show your support, like and subscribe our videos. Get on the train of Funky Monkey. There's some older videos of me and my daughter fooling around and stuff on there, but there's all the new videos and now that Vegas is over and I really can open some books to some stuff, we're going to be next week we're going to be getting more into more techie stuff again, and that's I keep saying that, but Vegas was coming and I was like, where do I've already shot myself in the foot once doing that. I didn't want to do it right before Vegas. So, and I was helping people and showing people stuff, but there was some stuff you're like, hey, you don't need to see that. You know what I'm saying? And not so much that I didn't want to share it, but because they were other heavy hitters in the country. They're like, look, I'm going to show you something, but don't tell anybody. So it was my integrity going, well, you know what, even if I really do want to show you, but I just can't show you that because I promised that guy I wouldn't show anybody that, But I really want to give a big shout out to Billy Shaw at Desert Hobbies. He's trying to build a YouTube empire, and it's starting to get bigger. So when you go to tell a friend or you go yourself to subscribe on YouTube, and you go check out Funky Monkey Judd, where all the new videos are, 1 through 6, 7 after tonight. That's where you'll find this video by tomorrow morning. Also go over to Desert Hobbies. Let's see if I can get in here. Desert Hobbies are on Facebook. They're on the internet. You can find them anywhere. Desert Hobbies, if you're down around Arizona, you want to support a local shop, go over and check out Billy and the boys. And go onto his YouTube page. He's got Desert Hobbies YouTube page, and he's looking to build it. We show you guys, we do some raffles, stuff like that, and in return, you guys give us the likes and subscribes and stuff we can to get it bigger. And the bigger we get it, the more companies that notice it and stuff like that. And that's just how I had a lot of people looking at me for answers last year, and I want to do that again. And I think that I can go even further this time if I do it right, because there's so many more fast guys in the nation now that I have the support of. You know what I'm saying? And I support them likewise. Like, as soon as my car was out, I was like, okay, Mark, is your car ready? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yep. So, and that's just how we are. One car's out, we take the next guy on our list that's helped us out and has backed us and stuff, and we go over and we see what we can do for them. So, that's what we're trying to do here for Billy and the boys. Billy Shaw down at Desert Hobbies down in Arizona. Really nice group of guys. So go check them out on YouTube too. And he's doing his own live videos too. So let's get into Vegas a little bit. So me and Emma drove 699 miles in one day. We started off here at 8:30. We left, actually we're on the road because I had a bunch of stops to make, and I was like, we're going to be on the road by 7:15. And then by 8:30, I was like, okay, we're finally on the road, and it's 8:30 already. So we rolled into Vegas about 7 o'clock at night. And with my bad back from when I broke my back, I could barely stand up straight when I got out of that car. I used to be the quintessential person in your 20s and 30s that you'd want to bring on a road trip, because Dan can drive for 23 hours straight with nothing but a ding dong and a bottle to piss in, okay? And these days, man, I get to 5 hours, I'm starting to get antsy. 6 hours, I'm starting to ache a little bit. By 9 hours, I was like, get out of this car, you know what I'm saying? So we stayed at the Silverton. For some reason, I thought that we were going to stay at the Oyo, so we drove the Oyo, and she's like, look, I don't have a reservation for you. And I'm like, look, lady, my back is killing me. Okay, I got a kid here, I got all this crap. I said, do you have a room? She's like, sorry, I don't have a room. So I had to go back to my emails and find it, and I found it, and it was actually better because the Silverton was really, really nice. It had a built-in Bass Pro Shop. I'd never been in a big Bass Pro Shop like that. The Bass Pro Shop was 60,000 square feet.
No way,
they had over 9,000 taxidermied animals, or 900 species. I mean, one portion of the store had boat cutouts on the ceiling with painted as water, and then sharks swimming around, all hung from the ceiling and stuff.
Oh wow!
It was really, really cool. So we had a good time, and we tested Thursday, and that was the hardest part for me. Is it was a vacation, but it was a lot of work, and it seems like my vacations always work. Whether we're going to Disneyland, last year I had to go to Disneyland, which was already work, and I had to push Emma around with a broken leg in a wheelchair for 5 days. But this time it wasn't like, because you guys got...
She had a broken leg on that whole trip?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you guys had a hotel, which is kind of what I wanted to get, which is just like your rinky-dink Motel 6 with the front door right next to the parking spot. You can back up and unload. My freaking place was park at the front, lock the door, go in and get the guy to come out with the cart. He has to load your cart. You can't touch anything. And then once he loads the cart, then you can put everything in the car, and then you have to make your way in 300 feet by the front place to the check-in and the first fish tank, and 200 more feet past the restaurant, then through the casino, then another 600 or 700 feet up the hallway to my room, okay? Then once I got it all in there, I had to pay him, and I had to go back, and I had to move the car, and then go back all the way back to my room. And that was just bringing the stuff in the room. And I brought the stuff in the room, and then out of the room, and then in the room, and then out of the room, 2 to 3 times a day for 4 days straight. One day for testing on Thursday, another day for testing on Friday, then the race on Sunday, then back in the hotel room Saturday. Saturday. Race on Saturday, and then it was a lot of work. So, and then I got to...
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. The people flying out, can you imagine what they were dealing with? All their luggage, and then...
Well...
They didn't have
They had a shorter trip.
Order or rent a car.
You're right. And that can be more expensive. And I know my way was, but see, it was a trade-off. It was like, be comfortable, take a flight, spend a little bit more money, or over here, spend a lot less money, get to drive there, bring a shitload of stuff so you can help other people out. I brought tables for 3 other racers, which were pitting with us at the Shark booth. But the only problem is I gotta drive, and my back just can't take it anymore. So, tell me about your trip, Rich.
We left Wednesday night, Rick Turner and I, and drove down there. It took forever, it seemed like.
You see this?
I think it was like 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning we got there, and then got the room, and then just went straight to, didn't even go to sleep or take a rest or nothing. Just went out, went testing. And then did the same thing on Friday. But the thing that was a drag with our room is every time we went back, we had to go get another key because the key wouldn't work in the door.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we're like, every single time it wouldn't work. But other than that, it was a good trip. The races, I learned so much at the track. It was like, from so many different people, what they're doing, all the stuff that's changing from when I've only been in it for just over a year or so.
Yeah.
Everything has just changed drastically. So I learned a lot of good stuff.
I was glad when you got into it, because it was the hobby was good for you in many ways. You know? Yeah. So it's been a pleasure having you in the sport. It was a really, really good time. I learned a lot about my mid-motor car, to the point to where literally we drove home Sunday and Emma had to go back to her mom, so I dropped her off by 8 o'clock. Came home, I was totally unloaded. I had taken the next 2 days off too at work, so I could unwind a little bit. So that night I brought home, by about 9:30, I had everything unpacked and almost put away, and I looked at my car and I'm like, I just spent 10 hours in the car thinking of all the changes I would make. I'm going to make them right now. And I tore the car apart. Already started working, just totally addicted. Totally, hey, y'all got any more of them bullet chassis? Yeah, thanks, guys, for the hat. I got this from Billy Shaw in Vegas. I like to keep little subtle things around here. I got, my buddy... Justin, when he was doing Holt's custom mats, I like to keep his hat out on here. And then I got the DE boys that are repping me now, so I got a rep back for them. And I just kind of keep everything hanging around so you can just kind of see that. So it's like a hidden message, DE. Yeah, so I know that there's a lot of people waiting for bullet stuff. I know that Mark Vine and Bobby, I know that they pretty much got home and went right back to work. So I think they got all kinds of stuff going on as far as making chassis and getting chassis ready to be sold. They're also making their other parts. I know he's got a wheelie bar coming out. And the front bulkheads, the AE and the losi front bulkheads, which is one of the things that I'm waiting for because it's something that I'd like to get the bulky lead wheel weights off the front of my car and put some brass on it. And that's just the best place in the world to put brass is in the lower bulkhead because it's centralized, it's low. It's just a really good place. So, and which sucks because the aluminum bulkhead that they make in house, that Bob Vine machines, it is one slick looking piece. Yeah. It's just not heavy enough. So he's going to be recreating them out of brass. Hand me the art design thing. So, I need to do a raffle, whatever you want to do. I don't really care.
A waffle.
I don't think it matters if you're giving stuff away. So, I said when I started this, and we've done 1 and done 2, but the third one we just hit the mile mark of 1,500 people. We're almost at 1,600 people now, but 1,500 people on the page, and I need to do a raffle for that just to say thank you to the guys. But there was also something too. I was standing there and I was 50 feet away at Las Vegas from a losi car. It's like, okay, it was one of the ASD guys because the ASD guys kept coming up and giving stuff out. And he was on the mic and he was like, anybody can show me a losi 22. Yeah. And I'm like, I got one. And I ran up there and I won an R Design rear motor mount. So I took it because I want it, but since I don't need it, I don't need to hoard it. So on behalf of the ASD guys that I want it from, as soon as we're done with this, we're going to put up a raffle for 2 days or whatever, and I'll number everybody, and we'll go ahead and give this away. So if somebody out there is building a Team Losi bullet car and needs the rear motor mount, I'm going to be donating this for the cause of the bullet out there. And hopefully that'll help somebody get their build built. Because these are nice cars, and it's not just buying the car and buying the chassis. You have to buy this bracket that holds this, and that the bracket comes from this company, and this comes from that company. Then I need body mounts from this company. So it's a very custom car. It is a race car. It is not a Slash. It is not a Team Losi anymore. I mean, this car is... I think the gearbox is losi and the arms are losi. You know what I'm saying? The rest of it is custom works and Pro RC Carbon Fiber Shop and Vanishing Point with Troy Stacy, and so I got a lot of trick stuff on this thing. And I don't need this, so it was cool. Yeah, I wanted it at Vegas, but now that I'm home and I'm looking at it, I'm like, let's give this away to somebody who's building a car that maybe really wants a bullet car, and he's maybe somebody that's working and has the money to build one, but it's getting expensive.
And if you want red, I got red.
We got red. He didn't know I don't know if that's going to work. He's like, man, you got the black one? I just bought this red one.
I just bought the red
one. The red one's cool. Maybe I'll put the red one on my car. But anyway, this is what we're going to be giving away. So as soon as the show's over, we'll be raffling that off. What do we got? Let me see your phone real quick. What do we got on here? Testing DEs tomorrow. Cool. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Rocky Carlson too. This guy never ceases to amaze me when I'm having hard times finding something. It just Rocky always sticks his neck out and goes, "Hey man, PM me," and I PM him, and he's always helped me out. So I decided when I got back to start a car just for Emma. I think that, so Emma raced the 12-turn class and she did very well. She won almost every race she ever ran. I had her brushed motor. I go way back with brushed motors, so I had her car, working pretty good. But after a while, she was like, "Daddy, this is slow." And we tried to put her in an outlaw car about a year ago, and it was like too much. She spun it around. She did an O-right pass and then spun it around with the brakes, and it clicked into reverse and went and hit a curb, and I was like, okay, that's it.
And I don't think I gave my daughter much of a shot. And I'm looking at Clay and his daughter up there. And my daughter told me for 2 months, I don't want to race, Daddy. This is your race. And as soon as she saw Clay's daughter up there with the pink car and the radio in her hand, she gave me this look. And I looked down at her and I said, Emma, you're jealous, aren't you? And she goes, yeah, Daddy, I want to race. And I said, baby, it's too late. I told you could race. And it was too late by then. So I felt bad. So what we're doing is we're kicking Emma, boom, off into the deep end with an outlaw car. I'm going to put a really mild motor in it for her. We're just going to give her XR10 Pro. We're going to program the reverse out of it. And Rocky stepped up and said, hey, time out before you do anything. I got a chassis sitting here. Well, let's use that to put the car together. And I was like, wow, that's really nice. So thank you, Rocky, always for, and all the Washington guys, all the 360 up there with Team Reckless, Reckless Collectibles and Hobbies up in Washington, another small town hobby shop, great group of guys, so nice. And if you guys are around Washington, Oregon, whatever, you don't have a hobby shop, or maybe your hobby shop sucks, or they don't want to get stuff in, and maybe you're trying to support them, they're like, nah, go order it on your own. Well, then contact Reckless if you're in the Northwest. So for me, it's Jake's. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's some stuff that I get from my sponsors, and he knows that, and Jake knows the deal with that. And there's some stuff that I get from these guys because Jake doesn't really. It's not in his best interest to deal with them. So but when these are Jake's bars, and I don't need Jake's bars, but I really like supporting him, and he does make a good product. So you're gonna see these all on my cars. So. It's just Jake's. I've known Jake for over 30 years. Back in the 80s when it was RP Hobbies, the gentleman he bought it from, and he worked there. And I've just known him since day one, and he's always been a great guy. So always support your local hobby shop. If you are in the Southwest, then go hit up Desert Hobbies. And if you guys already live in town, you got a hobby shop that you go to, great. My hat is off to you for supporting your local hobby shop. Because without the local hobby shops, all we have is these big gigantic monopoly, Horizon A main places and Tower Hobbies and stuff, which is great to have those places, but I mean that just, I don't know. I'm a small town kid, I live in a small country town in Northern California, me and Rich, and I like it kills me because I've used Amazon a couple times. I'm not a big Amazon guy, but it's pretty awesome to have at your fingertips. But it also kills me if I do use it, because I know Amazon is what put all the mom and pop shops out of business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And there's hundreds of shops here in Petaluma, California that I drive by and I'm like, hey, that used to be, there's Earl's, and remember the taco shop there? And they're just all gone. Yeah. Because it's all online now. It's all social media, and it really sucks. I know it's the wave of the future. We can't stop it, but anyway, go
slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, go in.
Wait till I'm dead. I'm almost there.
I'm almost there.
I don't have far to go. So
Brian Dean said I'm in Jake's daily. Support your locals. That's right. I wonder if Mark Vine's on right now. Billy Shaw McGraw. So that's pretty much, what we wanted to do this show was just kind of do a Vegas recap and tip our hats to Tyler Zavadil and Ashley Zavadil and everybody else that helped them put on the race. It was really cool. And I heard some people complaining about, tech was this, and I was like, tech was fucking perfect.
No, I didn't have any problem.
I walked up, I weighed the car, or he took my voltage, he weighed the car, I took the body back off of it, walked over, put it back on, and I raced my race. It couldn't have been any better. So, even coming from a almost 20 or a little over 25 year AFC certified master tech, which is what Rich is as well. The guy was using a Fluke, and a Fluke is a perfect piece of componentry in the automotive industry that will always 110% of the time give you an accurate data reading on whatever kind of voltage or resistance that you might be measuring. So, and that's what the gentleman was using. I don't remember his name. He was really nice. He was a big dude.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
I don't know what his name was, but I really liked him. He was always kind of happy up there and stuff like that. I can't talk for his attitude towards the end of the night because I wasn't up there at the end of the night, but I think tech was really, really good, and the guy that was doing the weight and the battery voltage was really nice. The big dude.
Well, they gave you the opportunity at the very beginning to tech your car, tech your battery to see where your voltages were according to their fluke.
Yeah.
So when you go back to your pit and you charge your battery, you should know where you were at. I only put mine at like 8.22 and it tested at like 8.37
Yeah.
on the fluke. So you need to do your due diligence and check your stuff before.
Well, the first time I went up for my
about
practice run and I had it teched, he checked my battery. It was like 843. Then he checked my ESC and my cap pack. I forgot to cycle it,
Right.
and it was putting out like 7.34. And he said you're good. You're still under 844.
But still.
But I was like, okay, Dan, you never forget. You forgot this once. Before your next race, cycle. Just leave it on in the pits.
Yeah.
Leave the freaking ESC on,
Yeah.
and just drain everything out. And even then, even not hooking up a new battery and going back up to tech for my race, I flipped it to off. So I mean, that thing had been on for 2 hours. I know there was no more voltage in it. It still read like 1.73.
Wow.
So I don't know what kind of, it almost seemed like maybe that was just putting out something because of the resistance through the circuitry of the ESC, but we weren't testing ohms.
Yeah.
He was testing voltage.
Sure.
So how is something that, just like in a real car, you don't just take the battery cables off and go take the airbag out. You turn the headlights on or ground out the positive terminal for 10 minutes first to make sure that all the capacitors in the PCM are really freaking dead.
Capacitive discharge. But even when you touch a fluke to a capacitor and it reads voltage, it will dip and go down to nothing right away because you drain the power out of it.
Anyway, tech was fabulous.
Yeah. No,
I
it
think
was,
tech
it was spot
really,
on.
Yeah,
It was good.
It really was.
They moved everybody through with that amount of people for the way it went through and the time that they did it in was phenomenal.
Yeah. And I said this in a post. I made a post when I came back. I said, the highlight for me, the gift for me, was two things. Number one, I got to meet so many people that, and I kept having to say, because nine times out of 10 they had masks on, and I didn't know who it was anyway. But even when they didn't or they took their mask off, it was like, you got to remind me who you are, man. I'm used to looking at 1/4 by 1/4 icons on my cell phone, and they were like, hey, it's da-da-da. I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I'd
right.
shoot the shit with them for 10 or 15 minutes. And I must have done that 100 times during the day. Right. So it was great to meet a lot of people that I talked to out there, a lot of just my RC community. But then also, I had this, not only multiple people all day long, but a whole group of guys who just said, Dan Judd, that's Dan Judd, guys, bring him over here. So I got over there, I'm like, what's going on? And they're all like, dude, we just all want to shake your hand, dude, we're here because of you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, just your tech. We followed to a T, all the videos that you made and all that content that you came up with and all that engineering and stuff that you did to the cars, and it still works today. So what I want to do with these new techie videos, Rich, is I want to touch on a lot of the old videos topics and not redo them, but redo them in a way minusing what is not relevant anymore, adding in technology advancements on top of what we knew right then and there, you know what I'm saying? And I think that'll add for some really good shows. Advancements, yes. Some bullet advancements.
It is definitely progressed, man, and they're it's the way to go now.
Yes, it is. A Desert Hobbies koozie. I don't know where my other one is, my Lake County one. Do you see it around here anywhere? That's what I got. I got a hat and a koozie from. That's what it should have said on the Desert Hobbies on the side. It should have said I came to Vegas and got this hat and koozie. It's here because I use it all the time. But yes, this is the Desert Hobbies koozie. Jake, if you're watching or when you watch this, get me a koozie, bud. I'm telling you, everybody watches it. Watch the koozie. give me a koozie that says Jake's on it. You got anything else you want to add to the Vegas race?
No, not really.
Nothing at all?
No, I sucked. So.
He's all, roll my cord up and put me in the closet because I suck.
No, it was definitely a learning experience for sure. I mean, my car, I tried sticky shit on my tires for the first time.
Yeah.
I've never run that stuff, and
Yeah.
I tried it, and it hooked really good, 3/4 track, and then all of a sudden it just, something went away, and the car just wobbled down the track like a duck.
Because it candy appled.
Whatever it did, it didn't work.
Yeah. That car's got to be rolling out fast enough for you to get your full pass in before that happens.
Yeah, before that happens, yeah.
Yeah, so.
But no, it was good. It was, I wish there was more time to kind of make some test passes on the surface you're racing on. You know, like doing a 2-day event where you have qualifying the first day, you know, to where you can actually make some passes on the track.
Yeah.
Kind of get used to your surface. You know, that always, for a big event like that with that much money on the line, you'd think that would be, you know, more exciting, more competition. It puts a lot of people out first, quickly.
So I got somebody here. Give me one of those little pan car wheels over there. I got somebody giving me crap about Wheelie Bar Wheels again. So I don't know what other people are using or whatever, but these wheels that I use really aren't that big. So here's how big it is to a front wheel. So is it bigger than a normal Wheelie Bar wheel? Yeah, but it's really a lot smaller than a front wheel. And it's really, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's considerably bigger, but it does the job that I'm trying to accomplish, so to each his own. You know, as far as, I've gone down that rabbit hole with so many people about so many parts, and if there's something that you don't like on somebody else's car, well, I promise you don't have to run it. I bolted it on there for me, not you. So, the Wheelie Bar wheels, I know they look a little funky, guys, but until you try it, don't knock it. It's well within the rules. I don't have big-ass steamrollers on the back or anything like that. These are really, really lightweight. They're really not that big. They're about 1 3/4 inch diameter. And the traxxas Wheelie Bar wheels are, what, 1 inch?
Yeah. Yeah,
they're 1 inch anyway, so they're really not that much bigger. What I was looking for was for something. See, and this is the reason why I use these is why I don't understand how some people can get the mono wheels to work. And I'm all for it. If it works for you, use it, you know. But I just, you know, if the car comes back and the weight's on the rear tires and the one wheel in the rear, just kind of makes me think of like an old 80s three-wheeler. You know what I'm saying?
They're teetering on the back.
Yeah, and how they're, maybe those are lower cars that are using them and they work better that way. I don't know.
But you got to think, the way the cars are run now, you're not expanding the tires anymore. You want to run belted.
Okay, you know, I'm just going to come out and say it. You know why I really switched those tires? Because I was so freaking tired of freaking chasing my goddamn traxxas wheels down the street, okay? I was about ready to put screws in them. No, I wanted something that planted a little bit. Well, the first and foremost, function before form. I wanted something that was more precise, something that didn't have the machining qualities of traxxas in it. You know what I'm saying? Because they have really loose tolerances everywhere in everything they make.
Even the wheelie bars out here, they got.
Yeah, I
they
mean
have a little play.
Yeah, they wiggle.
These are
solid. These are solid. I mean, these do not move. And in going with a little bit wider wheel, I was able to get a little bit more stable plant when I am relying on the wheelie bar until it lowers the front end back down. So there's a variety of reasons. Obviously, not losing the traxxas bar wheel. Anybody that's in this sport, anybody knows what I'm talking about the traxxas Wheelie Bar wheels. Okay, everybody's chased one of the. Hey, dude, I got your wheel. I think. What's it say on a traxxas? So and we've tried gluing them. I've tried epoxying them. I've tried hot gluing them. I've tried super gluing them. I've tried grinding the wheel down to give it tooth, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've tried everything and they just don't stay on. So between the wheels not coming off and having a little bit more secure stance when it does hit, and being much more of a more precision bearing and axle setup, it's what I use. I think it's a more precise piece of equipment. So yeah. What else we got here? That was Rocky Carlson giving me shit. I love Rocky. You know what, Rocky? I'm gonna make you some big ass wheelie bar wheel. What are those big ones they got? The big ones. I'm gonna give him some big ones. Maybe I'll just put another set of DEs back here.
Sky said he spent over $100 on those little tires.
The traxxas ones?
He said, I'm over it, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's something I thought too. Tony, I don't want to murder his last name, either Angelus or Angles. Tony says 1/12 scale pan car front wheels, and which has the same bearings and everything that this does. They're just a little bit smaller, and those would work really, really good too. So if you got an old pan car laying around, the one thing that I suggest if you do try this at home is to look out for somebody if you don't want to invest in one and get something like I got here. You want to hand me that hoodie? So when you're using these foam wheels for a wheelie bar wheel, you've got to make sure that they're perfectly the same. And to do that, the way I am doing that, is I have a fully automated tire truer, meaning that I get my depth and set it all up and everything, and I just flick the button and it goes, yeah, one pass, and yeah, come back to do a final pass. And then I take a file and around the edges, and I throw another one on there, and I keep those dimensions on the dials, and I start it again, and that second wheel I do is exactly like the first one. So this is how I'm getting my wheelie bar wheels perfect, is I have a lathe. So now, do they come when you buy a brand new set of these? If somebody wanted to try this and they just went to their hobby shop or whatever and got brand new pan car wheels, could you use them in their full length? Yeah, but I shaved probably 3/4 of the foam off of one of these. I mean,
wow.
these are I mean, a brand new one. This is nothing. These ones are almost rim.
Way down, huh?
This I've taken these come brand new like that.
Oh, wow.
And I've taken a good 1/4 inch off of these. So you can see the ones that are on the car are actually much more taller. But if you mic these out with a micrometer, they are freaking exact.
Really?
So,
and that's from using that?
Yeah, these were all cut on this. Yeah. So really good piece. This is not a cheap piece of equipment. I got a deal on this one. Thank you, Jake. Jake had an old one sitting around. He's like, "Oh, make me an off-run." And I did, and he took it, and I have one now. So this is what I am. If you're local in the 707, and you want to try this, bring them over. I can trim them down to whatever you want. It is Sky. It's a lathe, but it's super, super, super precision just for tires. You chuck this. I mean, even making a homemade chuck. If you had like a full tabletop lathe and you made a nice arbor and hub and stuff assembly for it, then yeah, you could probably do this. But as far as the actual cutters on this already be made for foam and ones on a lathe would be like a diamond tip for cutting brass or something like that. This is already set up to do tires. So yeah, it's a good piece of equipment to have in your armory. Arsenal. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Throw that back in there. Thank you, sir. So, yeah, big shout out to all my sponsors, and Billy Shaw, and Rocky Carlson, and Sky, and Paul, and Cody, and Joshua, and Jasmine Hernandez, and Jesse Hernandez of RC Divas. They're also on the Shark team. My whole Shark team, I got so many names I could thank. Every single show that we could just sit here and do an hour show just thanking people, So that was just like the little ball that's on the stem on the cherry that's on the sundae of the tech stuff I want to get back into. You know what I'm saying? Showing people this is how we accomplish this. This is the machine we use. This is the setup I've built to do this with. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of stuff I want to get into. So
dive on in.
Yeah, I didn't. I found out today that the McLaren doesn't have boost. It has turbo,
right?
But it doesn't have boost. The guy contacted me and he's like, "Hey, I'm wondering if you could give me a tune for my McLaren." And that right there was already first red flag. I was like, I told him, I said, "Look, I don't have a McLaren. I don't run that stuff. I heard it's pretty good, but what are you running? I need to know more about your tune." And he told me his tune. I'm like, "What about boost?" He's like, "It doesn't have boost." And I'm like, "What?" So he's trying to achieve what he was doing with his R1 with his McLaren, and I didn't know how to get him there
because for one, I don't know McLaren, but for number two, I mean, I've always, all my speed controls have always had boost, you know what I'm saying? And some other features, but he explained some other features of the softening software that's in it and stuff that's helping these guys launch. It sounded pretty good.
The launch control, right?
Yeah. Hi from New Zealand. Wow, Donovan. What's up, Donovan? Yeah, I can't stop thanking people enough. I mean, I've gotten so many. I spent so long helping the whole country, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden it's starting to come back, and it's just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of love out there that people got for me, and I love each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting me. That's pretty much my recap on Vegas. I had a great time, and I want to thank all my sponsors and all my friends and all my new friends and all my followers, and it was just really, really good. It was good having you on the show, Rich. I like having Rich on. Rich is a good guy to have on to chat with, and he likes to ask, you know, technical questions and learn, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not used to that, so which is really cool. It's refreshing, you know. I like. I
just come over here to take pictures.
Yeah, oh, is that what it is? So I really like having conversations with Steve Villanueva, with Paul Peterson, with Mark Vine. Mark Vine's one of my favorite people to have conversations with, just because he's got a very technical, tinkering mind, and I do too. And I'm like, well, what if we, you know, da 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 da? And he's like, yeah, well, I already da 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 da, so maybe da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my god, that could totally work, you know. And next thing you know, we're coming up with stuff, you know. And I think that, you know, I thought I almost saw a little bit of hatred. Not hatred. I don't want to say hatred. Hatred. A little bit of Debbie Downing towards Mark when we first started setting up to practice, the first day we practice, because some of his designs are so outside the box that they look foreign to people, you know?
Yeah.
And these designs are totally legal and totally legit, and they totally work, and they totally win races. And I just feel like there was a guy or two that was kind of giving him a hard time for, you know, how dare you put that on your car, you know, to be that much faster. And I'm like, what? I was kind of like, I mean, I was just sitting there going, oh my god, but in my mind I was going, what? What? Last I checked, this is America. He can bolt anything he wants on that car. You know what I mean? So in the way Mark and Bob's mind work, it makes total sense. And the tech that they're coming out with is totally outside the box. And I love stuff that's different. I love stuff that's outside the box and just works. You know what I'm saying? And I really like talking with people. You know, talking with Steve Villanueva. Steve Villanueva is one of those guys where we can get really technical on tunes and motors and stuff like that. And we're, you know, next thing you know, we've talked for 2 hours. So it's really, really good talking with people like that. I like talking techie stuff. So. Even though I suck with YouTube and stuff. But anyway, what's up, Carl? What's up, Wade? Gotta love the gray area. What do you mean, Rocky? Right here? This gray area? I know, my mom gives me shit for it. Hey, your gray area is like all over. Santa! Yeah, so I think that's about all we got for tonight. I just wanted to give a race recap and just let anybody that I came across paths with in Vegas to know that I had a great time in Vegas. I
Me
really
too.
did. I made
It was
some
good meeting
friends.
everybody out there.
It was. I mean, what a great group of guys. You know, it really was. I didn't see, you know, I thought, you know, hopefully not, but maybe we'll see a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of testosterone out there, a lot of ball sacks swinging in the wind. And are you okay?
I got a scratch in my throat.
Rich is over here woo-fluing out on me, dude. Yeah, go bring that in the house. So anyway, you gonna live?
Give me a Canada Dry.
That's right. I'm telling you. Hey, if your eyesight's going, okay. If you got diarrhea, or a broken leg, get you a Canada Dry. It's all good.
I'm cured.
I got my favorite picture of in Vegas is at one point in the day, Mark was running around. Mark Fine was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to work on his car, and he was working with Bobby, and he was working on my car. And he's like, "Hey, I'll take you up on one of those ginger ales." And I said, "Yeah, but it's gonna cost you a picture." So we sat there and we took a picture with the ginger ale. Anyway, anytime we can sneak a ginger ale can in the picture is good. So, Rocky said, "COVID
totally.
scare." What's up, Dan? Sorry about the first round knockout. Is that Corey? Was that you that I raced in Hawaii? Or I mean, from Hawaii, not in Hawaii. I'll smoke another one, Dan. Yeah, you know what? Billy just reminded me something too, guys. Hey, pass the word out. Get it around. There's Desert Hobbies is I don't know how that crossed my mind or didn't cross my mind. So Billy Shaw and the guys down at Desert Hobbies, if you go and you like and subscribe to their YouTube page and throw your area code out there, you can get entered to win the bullet. There's a huge build going on at Desert Hobbies, and they are taking what actually Clay Shaw won and what Mark and Bobby Vine designed, the bullet chassis, which is what I run and what Rich is getting ready to run. They are putting one of these together with all kinds of manufacturers help and backing, and they're going to be giving it away. I mean, it is a full car. We're talking speed control, motor, servo, full car. I believe it's an Associated AE, bullet, painted body, the whole 9 yards. So go over and like I said, get on the YouTube, guys. Go like and subscribe our page, Funky Monkey Judd. Go over to Desert Hobbies. Support them too. They're a great group of guys in the sport. And enter to win one of these bullets. You too can just, walk away with one of these. So, am I going to race in Kansas? Probably not, guys. I really want to go to the race in Kansas, but I don't know. I don't know how I would do it. I mean, I can't. I love to travel and I love to go to the races, but I can't just keep eating up all my time off that I have saved up to go to RC car races. There's other vacations I got to do with my daughter. I have to finally balance my time between my daughter and between my RC life and my work, and you know what I'm saying. So as much as I would, I mean, it's not off the table. I'm
gonna try to go.
Okay, well that's good.
Gonna try to be there.
It's just gonna be really hard for me. I mean, the last 4 years in a row, me and Emma have gone to Disneyland. It's nothing but work. We didn't get to go to Disneyland this year because it was closed down, and so going to Vegas was actually the first time we've had a vacation since last time we went to Disneyland in 2019.
Right.
And it was nothing. I had fun, but it was nothing but work. You know what I'm saying? And the next vacation I'm taking, guys, I'm gonna plant my white ass in the sand somewhere and not do anything for anybody. My phone's getting shut off. I'm playing in the beautiful ocean of Hawaii with my daughter or something. You know what I'm saying? And watch the Hawaii's guys. Hey, you guys are coming over, eh? Bring your cars. I might have to. I really want to go. Looks like Milo Carvalho of Flashpacks is going to be out there. I really want to go to. I really want to go over to Kansas and race at this race. I just don't see it happening. What month is it?
September.
See, that's still far away. Yeah. So I don't know.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. And I have enough time built up at work. I mean, I accumulate time. I gotta take a month off, and still get paid for it, But in the line of work that I do, you pay for it when you get back, because there's a lot of stuff there in the city that other people don't know how to do. So if I'm gone and I'm not there to do it, it just sits there until I come back, and that shit just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, I come back and I'm like, oh my god, So there's a lot of reasons why it might not happen. There's a lot of reasons why it might happen. I just don't know yet. So that's my answer. I don't know. Tony wants to race me in Kansas for a case of Canada Dry. Well, damn it, we're going. That's awesome. Yeah, guys, so hey, tell a friend to tell a friend. Go over and check out Jake's Performance Hobbies on Facebook. Check out Funky Monkey Judd. Go check out Desert Hobbies. Let's spread the love around. You know, a like and a subscribe doesn't cost you nothing. And if you go over to Desert Hobbies and you like and subscribe and message on the or look at the comments on the last video on the giveaway he did and put your area code in there, you could get entered to win one of these bullet cars. This is going to be like a $2,500 car. I mean, this is a full-on race car. They ain't giving away no stock slash. This is a race car. So, and a lot of time and money and hard work goes into one of these cars. You know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't just call up Mark Vine and say, hey, dude, send me one of these cars, and that's how I came up with this. I mean, this took hours and hours and talking to different manufacturers and testing stuff, and this is what we've come up with, you know? So, you know, this is basically this is a Team Losi bullet, and they're doing an AE. And there's some things that I'm like, you know, I'm glad I got the Losi. You know what I'm saying? But there's some things I'm like, oh, the Losi doesn't have that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it is. I mean, you're talking Ford and Chevy. You know, they're both the two best. You got the AE and you got the Losi. I personally went with Losi, and I went with Losi to be different. You know, because I knew everybody. I was like, you know what? It's been once upon a time it was always slash. Everything was slashing this,
right.
You know. And then some of the AE stuff started coming in, and then it busted in more with the DR10, and then all of a sudden you have these aftermarket chassis come in with the kits for the mid-motor B6s and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's when the Bullet came in, and I was like, you know what, everybody's going AE, and Mark actually, Mark offers something for the Losi, so let's go with Losi. You know, plus I just bought the buggy, and
I like the foundation with it.
I do. It's a really nice nice car.
Piece,
so
for sure.
Carl Hargrave said definitely checking into that Bullet. Yeah, go over to. I know that Mark Vine has an eBay store. You can also go over to the Bullet Experience, I don't think, on Facebook, and like that page and follow. That's where all the Bullet owners go to share stories and stuff. But he also, if you're looking to build a Bullet and you're just hearing about it now, and you haven't seen one of my other videos or any of Mark's videos, what you want to do is you can get a hold of Desert Hobbies. You can reach out to anybody, put a post up on the Bullet Experience. I know that Mark, when he's done a batch of chassis, he puts it up and lets everybody know exactly what's available and what they've made. So Carl, they are out there. It is probably one of the nicest remote control cars I've ever owned. I mean, I love my Bullet chassis. My hat's off to Mark and Bob.
You can also find out where they're racing and pick one up personally.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Oh, you got yours in Vegas? Oh, I didn't know that. And Carl's from the 252. The next show will be next Saturday, and this week in my busy schedule, somehow I will come up with something that we can do on the show. I don't know, maybe I'll get some rockets and we'll blow some shit up. Yeah, rockets. I think I posted a video a couple days ago of one of my old, Facebook's got that, your memory 6 years ago or whatever. We were doing rocket cars. So what we were doing,
I saw that clip.
We were taking 10 scale buggies and leaving a receiver battery and a receiver and a servo in it so you had steering, and then we put a piece of a license plate up on the back shaft tower and strap the rockets. Now, when you go into a hobby shop, what's the big, like, toilet paper roll looking ones? Those are the D's, right? Okay?
D's, yeah.
The D's, the biggest one most people have ever seen. We were running, like, G24s, okay? These mother suckers were this big and that big around, and they don't just go off, they go shut, 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 boom! And that video does not show. It's like a man-made lightning bolt that goes off in front of you. Then we got some ones that were like F43s one time, and I looked at Johnny, the guy I used to do it with, and he looked at me. I'm like, yeah, we should probably not do that again. I mean, it was bad, dude. It was like, and then we were taking the you remember the styrofoam airplanes? and we were undercoating the bottom of them with aluminum ducting tape so it wouldn't burn them, and we'd strap the rockets to them and just put them on a stick and shove them in the ground and light them.
Oh, no.
And we had a little, I have it around here, I just took a cardboard and put a 7.2 volt battery pack in it with a toggle switch and 2 wires that went out. And that's what we'd hook up to the motors, and that's what would shoot it off.
Oh, right.
And the gliders were pretty cool until, and the cool thing is that 7 or 8 times out of 10 we'd get a sweet flight, but there'd always be that one flight of the night that'd like turn around and come back at you. That's what makes it,
Yeah.
So,
Stupid shit.
I did look at the new losi ready to run. I'm going to be getting one as soon as I can get my hands on one. If anybody's already got a line on one and they want to send it my way to do a show on, I'd love to take one apart for everybody like we did with the DR10, a year ago or whatever. There's already things I like about it right off the bat. Number one, my car is a losi car, and I got a crap load of losi parts. So I know a lot of that stuff that I will go through on it, like spur gears and stuff, will fit. But I don't want to be biased towards it and away from the DR10 just because of that. Let's say I didn't own any losi stuff. I think that losi kind of held the reins back and watched what the problems would be with the DR10 and fixed those in the box with the new losi. And what I mean by that is that the losi has a little bit faster motor. It's a little bit faster car, which somebody says it'd be cool if they put the same KV in it as the other one so they could be, even, and that would be cool. I totally agree with that. But it's a faster motor than ESC. It's by no means an outlaw setup. It has a longer wheelie bar, and it has full metal gears in the transmission. I think that's where, Associated.
That's where it stepped up a little bit.
I think where the Associated, because the Associated car, even out of the box, as slow as it is on 2S, you can put a 3S in it and the thing rips. It's fun, for a kid, to go out in his first car before he starts learning how to trick it out and be faster, But when you do that, every single one, I saw somebody either re-gear the car or put a bigger motor in it or put it on 3S. It took the idler gear out. I think they minimally should have put a metal gear in the idler position on a DR10 from the factory. I think it's just be a better setup. And the DR10 is a great car. It's a great car. But I think the losi just kind of stepped it up a little bit. And if somebody comes out with something else like traxxas or something like that, or Associated to fire back with like maybe a mid-motor entry-level car, they're going to do the same thing back. They're going to one-up theirs, and that's how this stuff works. So, I did look at the losi, and I really want one. That's my answer. I want one. I want to play around with it. In my experience, whether it's drag racing or dirt oval or road racing, spec racing has always been the funnest for me. When it comes down to you got to outdrive me, you know what I'm saying? When you got a couple top racers in a class that have set the car up exactly like the rules state, and they're all built to run equally. That's why they're stock cars. And I can't pull away from you, but you can't reel in with me. I just took a turn better, and therefore I'm 2 feet in front of you. That kind of racing is really fun. It's really neck and neck. So it would be cool to have a class like that. I know that's kind of what the 13.5 stuff is kind of aimed at, but it's taken off in some places. It really hasn't taken off in other places. So I agree, Jasmine. I think Traxxas is kind of holding back too. And I think if anybody could come out with a really killer setup, it could be Traxxas, And right off the bat, they're going to put a Valenian in it. Yeah. And that would blow both the losi and the Associated way. The Valenian is nowhere near an outlaw motor setup, but it's faster. It's
fast.
That one. That's got a Valenian. That thing freaking rips, dude. Then again, I run it on 3S, so it rips on 3S. 2S, you're like, oh, this is cool. It's going. It's all right, cool, But then you put a 3S in it, and you're like, holy crap balls, Batman! This thing really moves.
Big difference.
That car up there, it's fun on 3S. So, Jasmine says that she doesn't think it'll be a VXL. I guess she's thinking that they might come out with something. And you know, who a better company? I mean, they're the ones that kind of, you know, was the kind of the breeding ground for all of this. You know, was the traxxas stuff. I've always wanted one of those rear motor car company manufacturers to get a hold of me and say, hey, dude, let's build just a ripping out of the box car. Like, all right, you know what I mean? Because the formula I have in this car right here is the same formula I've always run with my rear motor cars, and it just freaking works, you know?
I remember the first time you set that one down.
Yeah, we got it the day before. I had to take it all apart, redo it, and then we went out and ran it, and it worked great. So, I think that's about it. I think I'm going to let you guys go. Let's tune in next week right here for Shark Frenzy episode number 8. We're going to do a tech video. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I'll come up with something cool. I think I already did a soldering one, which was good, you know, because I changed some stuff around. I think the first one I did was on an XR10 Pro. This one was the R1. So, yeah, we'll get another show off next Saturday. So stay tuned. I'll be putting that on the internet in the next day or two. We're gonna get this R1 raffle. The R Design raffle up for the wheelie bar mount for the Team Losi Racing Bullet car. Again, I wanted my shout outs to Paul Peterson and Steve Villanueva and Milo Carvalho and Chris Vieira and Dave of DE. And Billy Shaw and all the guys in Arizona, and Jake and all the guys, Hunter and Tim and all them at the shop. Really, I just keep going on and on and on. So I'll let you guys go. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless everybody. God bless America. God bless you, Rich.
Thanks. God bless you.
Well, you did sneeze like 3 times, so.
Oh.
Look, I'll give you a God bless you the first 2 times when the first 2 sneezes, but on the third one, you need to get your shit together.
Through structure.
So, hey, thanks everybody. Mark and Bob Vine again. Tyler Zavadil, just everybody I met. I mean, everybody that was just so great. Yeah, it really was a cool setup. So, and we will. Thank you, Rocky. Yeah, and we'll talk to you guys soon. So I'm gonna sign out. Let me come over here and hit the sign out button. Bye.